At the start of the Elbaf arc, we see Zoro leaning against the railing looking toward the horizon. The Straw Hats stop their celebration because of Vegapunk's death. Jinbei looks worried that Luffy is depressed. After Vegapunk's death, they feel they failed to save the One Piece world's Albert Einstein, Vegapunk, who was killed by Kizaru. While Frankie looks scared, wondering how they could save him when they were up against the 5 elders, a Navy Admiral, CP0, and the Seraphim. His intel processor still can't load it all. While Boss Jinbe also agrees with him, Zoro is like, Luffy is an emperor of the sea. He's got to think of his image. Damn. Yeah. On the other side, we see CP0 claiming they killed Stussy, one of their members who betrayed them. Sanji will definitely kick Lucci's ass next time if he really killed Stussy. Saint Saturn is claiming they have secured what was needed, York and Punk records, so they can get the Mother Flame. That's a W for them. While Saturn admitted they are not going to follow the Straw Hats to Elbaf, he looks concerned about Vegapunk's broadcast and the Iron Giant robot who helped the pirates escape. Since Saturn calls it a blunder, a Vice Admiral asks him, "Is what Vegapunk says true?" Saturn doesn't waste time, he strikes him down. On Egghead, Edison outsmarted York by using the Cloud Machine to detach Punk records and float it into the sky. York tried to stop it with a laser, but she accidentally severed the final connection, ensuring the brains escape and leaving her empty-handed. Meanwhile, in Mary Geoise, often called the Shitland, the Celestial Dragons are as usual scared of the Vegapunk broadcast. But the main problem is there's not enough food for those pigs. Garling walks into the room of authority as the doors swing open, casually sitting down and addressing the other elders without any formal respect. When they demand to know why he's there, he reveals he has been appointed by Imu as the new warrior god of science and defense. He states that the world is about to enter a state of total turmoil, officially welcoming them as his fellow elders. Then Imu kills Saturn by remotely revoking his immortality through their telepathic link. Imu's voice echoes in Saturn's head, asking why he allowed Joy Boy to escape. Black flames erupt from Saturn's body as he begs for mercy. Saturn rapidly ages, withers into a skeleton. As Saturn dies, his powers and seed are instantly transferred to Garling back in Mary Geoise. We see Edison combined himself with the other Vegapunks, and that means they are still existing. That's good news. Yes. Dragon and the revolutionaries realize the world is ending after hearing Vegapunk's message. At their base, Ivankov deduces that the massive bridges built by slaves were actually secret preparations for the world's sinking. Dragon warns that once the public realizes land is disappearing, humanity will start a vicious war for habitable high ground. He orders the army to finish their mission quickly as the fight for the world's limited safe zones has officially begun. On the giant ship, Lilith wakes up and everyone is happy to see her, but Sanji starts simping on her. Sadness hits her when she learns about all the other Vegapunks. She starts crying, but it won't last long. Now she just wants to eat because she is hungry. When she goes to eat, she meets Luffy, who is already depressed as hell, stuffing his face while crying. That's not sad if you ask me. Lilith tells them about Vegapunk's existence. that he died, but his memory is still there with them. She tells Luffy not to be so sad. Hearing that motivates Luffy, and he jumps straight from there, running to the giants to thank them for the help and joining the chaos. Usopp's dream comes true when he sees the giant party, while Luffy, Chopper, and Bonnie are digging into a world of food. We see something special when Robin forcefully hugs Chopper. She's so excited to see Elbaf, where Jaguar D. Sol is. She's desperate to meet him. Well, look at that cute furball Chopper. Meanwhile, Bonnie is feeling the Nika vibe and missing her father, Kuma. The promise to see the horizon has come true. It feels like nothing can beat that feeling. As they head toward Elbaf, their banquet continues. They are talking about their first meeting in Little Garden, where the Straw Hats first met Dory and Brogy. This was where Usopp first set his dream to visit Elbaf, and now it's finally about to come true. While the party is going on, Nami looks drunk, which is odd because she usually doesn't drink that much. And Lilith actually thinks that Usopp wants to be a giant, which makes Usopp even more frustrated. On the other side, Frankie, Zoro, and Sanji are chilling. Zoro looks happy because he can train with giants, which will be a new experience for him. Of course, Sanji mocks him. Sanji says, just imagine, there must be tons of beautiful giant ladies there. He can't wait, that's for sure. While this is happening, Zoro gets annoyed at Frankie because he is eating something called hakarl. It smells so bad. They talk about the booze they are drinking, a strong one called Green Fairy. Tony Chopper wants to try it, drink some, and gets drunk immediately. Then Luffy orders Brook to sing. It's party time. Then suddenly we see Gartel Island. This is Red Hair Pirates territory. This happened more than a month ago. We see Bartolomeo taking care of bad thugs in town while trying to sell Straw Hat toys. Wow, that was some business. He's actually selling them at a 50% off sale. That makes me laugh so hard. A woman warns him that this island is red hair territory, but believe me, that dude burns their flag right in the middle of town. That is definitely a slap in the face to the Emperor. Back in the present time, Bartolomeo is all beat up, bloody, and tied up, begging to be released. One of the Red Hair crew members offers him a bottle of poison, telling him to feed it to Luffy and they will let him go. But hold on, Bartolomeo is the biggest fanboy of the Straw Hats. He doesn't think twice. He drinks the poison himself. He starts talking all this emotional stuff about how he won't be able to see Luffy become the king of the pirates. Plot twist, it wasn't poison. Shanks was just testing his loyalty. They leave him while everyone is laughing that Red Hair is scared of Luffy. Ben Beckman asks Shanks why he let them go, and Shanks says it's because it makes him happy to see how much Luffy is respected. But Usopp, being the Giga Chad, doesn't give a F about the boss. He straight up shoots Bartolomeo's ship and destroys it to ashes. On Pirate Island, Blackbeard is raging about Vegapunk's broadcast. His massive crew is ready to fight for the One Piece, because whoever claims it controls the world. Blackbeard asks Kuzan about the last fight. Kuzan says they lost Kobe, but they got Garp. After a long time, we see Garp all beat up and tied up, but it seems he is still as strong as before. They even captured Pudding. The Three-Eye Tribe has an awakening that hears the voice of all things. This would allow Blackbeard to find Laugh Tale without needing Nico Robin. Blackbeard then calls Lufy, who is watching the revolutionary army. He reports to Teach that they are trying to starve the celestial dragons. Meanwhile, Katarina Devon appears on Pirate Island with their new filthy friend. While everyone is enjoying the party, they suddenly notice that the Thousand Sunny is missing. A few crew members were on the Sunny and they are missing too. Everyone starts panicking, while Robin thinks they might have just been eaten by a fish. Since the Sunny's missing, we see Nami wake up in a strange room. She doesn't understand anything, and honestly, neither do we. While she's trying to figure out how she got there, a giant bee attacks her. She gets so scared that she summons Zeus, and he roasts the bee instantly. We find out this place is called the Block Kingdom. The fun part is that Nami doesn't even remember when her outfit was changed. That's suspicious. Even Zeus leaves her alone after the fight. While she's by herself and crying, she suddenly hears Usopp screaming her name. At that moment, she encounters a cute porcupine that seems harmless, but her screaming makes it angry. As Nami is running away, she sees Usopp literally getting eaten by a giant cat. That is weird as hell. Nami uses Zeus again to beat the porcupine, and it turns into a total mess. The porcupine falls straight onto the giant cat, which actually ends up saving Usopp. After they escape, Usopp explains that they probably drank too much of that green fairy booze, which is why they don't remember how they ended up here. Usopp tries to be brave and decides to fight the cat, but the cat is so powerful it destroys the whole castle. They both fall all the way to the ground. When Nami wakes up, she sees a skeleton. She actually thinks Usopp died and turned into Brook. That's epic, honestly. Suddenly that cat transforms into a giant lion and attacks them again. But this time, Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy arrive to save her. It's a very bad day for that cat. Sanji comes flying toward her like a butterfly, but Nami breaks down in tears, thinking about Usopp. She really thought he was dead, but it seems he's doing fine. Suddenly, a strange sound comes out of a giant tree. Luffy thinks it's another big monster, and if it's tasty, he's going to take it out. Meanwhile, Zoro says they need to find the sea and the ship first. Sanji's just thinking about food. He thinks those giant bees from earlier would probably taste really good. While they are mocking each other, Nami is just frustrated with the whole situation. The castle is completely destroyed, but look at Zoro. He's posing while falling. That's some serious aura farming right there. On the other hand, Sanji grabs Nami and jumps straight down from that height. They start wondering how their clothes changed, and Usopp thinks it was done by the Elbaf giants. They decide to head toward the sea to find the Thousand Sunny. They need to ask someone for directions, so they head toward a nearby town. Sanji thinks they should find a beautiful lady to ask, while Zoro immediately starts walking in the wrong direction. Nami looks scared of this Minecraft island, but Sanji is always there to help her out. While she wonders if they are really in Elbaf, she says she wants to see a giant gold shop. They are ready to visit the town, explore the place. Luffy and Usopp are arguing about that massive beast they just beat. Luffy thinks it's a lion, but Usopp is sure it's a cat. Suddenly they notice someone jumping. It looks like someone riding a massive fly. Luffy and Usopp get so excited that they keep asking about the fly. The fat guy explains the island, saying it was created by the sun god. He says he serves the ruler of Big Stein Castle, one of the gods. So Luffy asks if a person lives in the castle, and the guy answers, "No, it's a cat." Actually, they already beat that cat pretty badly. Luffy is about to tell him, but Usopp saves the day. He also mentions the porcupine. Just look at Nami's face. They are just trying to act normal. The guy mentions they should go to the town to eat, but then he warns them about a god and tells them never to go there. And that's all it takes. Luffy starts running to fight that god, where everyone chases him and Nami stops for a second to say sorry for everything. Such a kind lady she is. They are all shouting for him to stop, but Luffy is out of control. He sees himself running and collides straight into a mirror, which he breaks. The townspeople are surprised that the sky is broken. Usopp thinks it's a curse, but nah, it's a giant cage and they are inside it. Zoro cuts the cage and they enter a room. Luffy hears someone asking for help and jumps into the room. He finds our cotton candy lover, Tony Chopper, tied up. Zoro comes to cut the ropes, but a little mistake could finish their emergency food. Nami steps up and uses her thief skills to uncuff him instead. Then they notice the giant mirror cage is transparent from this side. Sanji asks for Nami's permission to see the girls' room so he can get a sneak peek at what they're doing. That's some pervert thinking. In that room, there are giant animals like snakes, birds, there are too many of them. So Luffy turns on Gear 5, the first Gear 5 transformation of Elbaf. He looks so cool in the new outfits. While they are beating the giant animals and destroying the room, a giant appears. It seems he made all these things, and watching them destroy his dream makes him angry. The Straw Hats leave the place and get back into the mirror cage. The cat they beat comes back for a second round, but gets beaten again. The giant follows them as they try to get to the other side to escape. This giant, named the Sun God, is very angry. He tries to capture them, but the cat turns out to be helpful. Nami gets a blueprint of the Block Kingdom, but throws it out. She has a plan. The giant pulls out his ultimate weapon, a giant net, to capture the cat. The cat dodges, but eventually gets caught until Zoro and Sanji set him free. The cat starts running even faster. The townspeople say they have bad news. The ear god died in a fire today. That was actually the Straw Hats eating that rabbit. This makes the giant laugh like crazy. He thinks he's got a twist on his script. Usopp shoots the mirror to destroy it, but it turns out to be a big wall that can't be broken by that attack. The giant thinks they can't run out. It's all part of his script. Even the cat gets demotivated and stops running. Then the giant calls them by their names. It turns out he knows them all very well. He's a big Straw Hat fan. Nami thinks they've had enough trouble here, while Sanji wants to kick the guy because he's the one who changed Nami's clothes. Oh boy, he is raging. And we get a flashback showing a bird carrying the Straw Hat ship while everyone was sleeping. The giant got irritated because Hadrudin became one of Luffy's allies. He thinks the crew is defenseless, but when he saw Nami, he started simping. She's his favorite. That's why he created all this drama. But wait, Nami is cooking something big. She summons Zeus and hits the giant with the biggest lightning she's ever done. She literally roasts that giant. Nami says she didn't do anything. It was a natural disaster. But Usopp knows she did it. Then Luffy jumps into the air and uses his new style, that mini Gear 4, to break the wall. The stage is finally set for Elbaf.